What is up, guys? Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So the stock market had a pretty rough day today. We had the S&P and the Russell down 0.7%. We had the Dow Jones somehow breaking even, and the Nasdaq got hit so hard, down over 2.5% on the day. And today we're going to be talking more about the markets, breaking down some technicals, going over 7 stocks to buy now, and I also want to go over how low I think the stock market could go. I mean, we've been selling off these past couple of days, so I want to cover that. And on top of that, I want to share with you all what stocks I own right now. So if you find value, hit the like button, subscribe, get into the Strive Smart Discord chat, the Facebook group, get 2 stocks from WeBull and $30 from M1 Finance, and feel free to also check out the Patreon for buy and sell alerts, call outs, exclusive content. All of those are linked right down below in the description box. So what we see here, guys, is the S&P 500, and again, we went down over 0.7%, almost 0.8%. We went down over 30 points on the day, and clearly what we see here, and if you guys were in the Patreon this morning, we do a morning update video every Monday through Friday for the top tier patrons. I talked exactly about what happened today. We saw the futures market. It was red. It was not that bad, but it was pretty red this morning, and that indicated that we were actually gapping under this wedge. We were gapping under the support that we held in the past 2 trading days. You guys can see here, we held a higher low at about 38.87, 38.91, and on Friday as well at about 39.06. And the fact that the futures were red, we saw that indicated to us, okay, bears are taking charge, they have more momentum, and there could be more downside. That's exactly what we covered, and that's what ended up happening. And again, we saw the writing on the wall because the futures market was red, and we gapped down pretty much to about 38.85 in the futures market. And I mentioned how if we took out the lows from Thursday, that was not going to be good at all. And if we didn't break out of this downtrend, which, let me redraw this, you can see we didn't do it. We didn't break out. And I said if we didn't break out, that was not going to be good, and we hit another lower high today, which means we're continuing the downtrend. And of course, we just said we hit a new low this morning at about 38.75 in this 5-day, 5-minute chart. So the downtrend is intact. I mean, tomorrow, what we're going to be looking for is, okay, is the S&P going to break that 38.75 level of support? We double bottom there earlier in the day. We closed right above it at the close of the market. Do we end up dumping below that? Do we end up hitting another lower low? Do we take out the low? If so, that means we're going to be going lower. And I've said this before. I've been saying it on the channel pretty much every single day. I think the S&P could be going mid 3800s. That is where it's going to go, possibly tomorrow, maybe some point this week if we take out those lows from today. I can see 3860 coming, 3850. Then if those levels break, I'm thinking lower 3800s, 3825. And if we pull back here on the 4-hour chart, I think it's not crazy to think mid 3700s, right around this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. That is also where we could be going here. And the thing is, guys, that is not too crazy of a pullback. I mean, if we go down to 3750, you might think, oh, that's a 10% drop from the peak, a 15% drop. No, it's not. It's not even a 5% drop. So this is not even a correction. If you guys know the definition of a correction, it's when a stock, an index, an ETF, whatever it may be, whenever it goes down 10% or more from its peak. So we're down 5%. It's not even a correction yet. And of course, a bear market, we've talked about this before, is whenever a stock goes down 20% from its peak. And that's for an index and an ETF as well. So at this point, watch out for the lows from today. If we take those lows out, mid 3800s, low 3800s, and even mid 3700s. That's where I think the S&P 500 is going here. And quickly, let's take a look at the Nasdaq, guys, which went down 2.6% today, down over 350 points. And by the looks of it, on this 4-hour chart, The uptrend is intact. This is nothing but a beautiful, simple pullback and an overheated index, and the uptrend's maintaining. As of now, it's clearly maintaining, and who knows, 13,200 could end up holding at a higher low, and the uptrend could very well continue. Or if this breaks, maybe we go down to the 12,900s, right around this 180 SMA, and if that ends up holding at a higher low, that could also be a point where the Nasdaq ends up bouncing and maybe rallying back to the 1300s, mid 1300s, maybe even high 1300 or 13,000s. Why do I keep saying 1300s? You guys get the point. So watch out for this pullback. It's not catastrophic quite yet. We're still holding the uptrend on the Nasdaq and on the S&P for that matter, and we just have to monitor the situation. And of course, I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comments. Are you buying stocks? Did you buy any stocks today on this dip? Did you sell any on the weakness? Let me know down below. I'd love to know. And if you like the video so far, you're finding some value, hit that like button and maybe subscribe to the channel as well, and maybe turn on those notifications. Just maybe, guys, do that. And yeah, let's just talk about now what I did today. And of course, if you guys are on Patreon, you can see my real-time buy and sell alerts, all my call-outs, and exclusive content every single day. That's if you're interested on Patreon, link down below. And we're going to quickly talk about what I did today just to do a quick little review. And I ended up buying a little bit more Neo. And if you guys caught my video earlier today, I made a video earlier today on Neo. I ended up breaking it down and talking more in depth about my opinion. I'll link that down below. If you guys haven't caught it already, I highly recommend you go watch that. Again, linked right down below. And pretty much I added more. Today it went down 8% and it closed under $51. And it looks like overall, not to go too deep into it because I want you guys to go watch that video, but the descending triangle played out. We saw a big support at 55. We were downtrending into that support, and ultimately the support gave out and we hit a lower low, and we're pretty much continuing this mini downtrend that we've been in for a lot of 2021 so far. And now we closed above a key level, $50, 52, 48. That's a big level, a couple big levels there on Neo. And you guys know my average cost is in about the mid-50s, or shall I say it was in the mid-50s until today, and quite frankly it still kind of is in the mid-50s, but today I added more, I nibbled more Neo at $52.25. Arguably a bit too early because again, we closed under $51, but that is what I did. I bought a little bit more Neo today, and I don't usually swing trade through earnings, but since this is a longer term swing for me, I'm actually holding this one through earnings. I know it sounds crazy to you guys that are like, Stas, didn't you say you don't hold through earnings? Well, 95% of the time I don't, and this is the 5% of the time that I am looking to hold through the earnings report, which is on the 1st of March here in about a week and some change. So I ended up adding more Neo. SLV is another one I ended up adding more to today. This one went up 4% today. Silver went up a ton. Gold went up almost 2% today, so great day for the precious metals market. And you guys know, I've been in SLV for quite a while at this point, well before that pop that we saw with the hype around Wall Street bets. I was in silver, SLV before that, and I've been accumulating since $23, $24.45, and today I added more at $26.05. I kind of viewed this as a buy the breakout scenario, and I did exactly that. I bought the breakout, and I think SLV has potential above $27 and ultimately up to $30 per share. So SLV I bought. I'm still in Tesla, which admittedly, guys, I'm getting creamed on my position right now. But the truth is, and I mentioned this on Patreon, I'm in with a small position. When I got in, I mentioned I'm in a small position of Tesla and I'm willing to average down, and it dropped almost 10% today. I didn't average down quite yet, but I'm going to. The truth is, I'm going to, and I want to see what it's going to do at $700. That is a key resistance from back in the end of December, also kind of in the beginning towards the middle of December. So if we, consolidate a bit at 700, 710, I'm literally thinking about doubling up my position in Tesla here, my swing trade. So Tesla, I'm still in. Rocket, I'm still in. This one is a little bit under my average cost. It's not doing much. I'm holding on to that with a small position. Tattooed Chef, I'm also still in. A lot of these positions, guys, got crushed today. Tattooed Chef down 6%. And granted, all of these, for the most part, are longer term swings. Tesla, Tattooed Chef, Rocket, SLV, and Neo. I mean, all of these are longer term. And Workhorse and SBE, the same thing. I'm looking to hold these for a little bit more. Workhorse, this one's right around 30, 31. I think that's a decent buy point, so I'm holding on to there. Maybe I'll add some more to Workhorse. And SBE looks like it's squeezing deeper into this wedge, so I'm looking to see what it's going to do in the high 30s. I think if $40 could break on SBE, this one's going to be a runner. So what do you think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What are you buying? What are you selling? I'd love to know. And don't forget, if you want the buy and sell alerts, real time, the call outs, all that good stuff, check out the Patreon. That's linked right down below. And let's get into now. I have 7 stocks that a lot of these got hit today. One of them went up. We'll talk about that in a second later on in the video. And stock number 1 is Nano Dimension, ticker symbol NNDM. And this one is down. It went down 10% today, and it's down well over 20%. Actually, it's almost down 30% from its peak, meaning it's in a bear market. And we clearly saw a double top at about $18. We failed holding the uptrend, the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. We failed holding $13 today, and we ended up closing in the mid-12s, and notice where we closed. We closed right above that 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, which it looks like, guys, really does. It wants to act as a support, right around this 1250, 1270 level. And although I don't have any skin in the game right now with NNDM, and I do have about 30-40% cash on the sidelines, this is a stock that I seriously might nibble a little bit of NNDM here. I think if it could recover above 1250 and maybe break back into the 13s, especially the mid-13s, even the 14s, guys, if it can do that, that is going to be a good sign of a recovery to the upside, especially if the markets in general end up, consolidating and ripping back up. I think NNDM on the bounce back up is going to outperform the market. But then again, that's kind of like a double-edged sword, because when the market goes down, then NNDM will also outperform the market on the downside. Hence why it went down 10% today, as the Nasdaq was down over 2% and the S&P wasn't even down 1%. So understand, these stocks are very volatile, but you can make a lot of money with them as well. So NNDM, I'm watching this dip, and Palantir is another one, ticker symbol PLTR. It went down 3.5% today, and if you all caught my morning update video on Patreon on Friday, we covered this. We made some money on it. Well, I didn't actually trade it. I'm sure some people on Patreon were able to catch that, but we saw it go up from what? I think it was, $22, $25 on Thursday. It gapped up, went all the way up to $30, and with today's session, we're actually looking to make a right shoulder in this inverse head and shoulder pattern. And let me explain exactly what I'm talking about here. Take a look. What we see here is the left shoulder as we dumped off from about $32 to about $27. We consolidated a bit there, dumped off, created the head right here at about $24. That's the low. And now that we're ripping back up and consolidating a bit here at $28, $29, we're looking to make the right shoulder. And notice the neckline is holding. And the neckline, if you guys didn't know, pretty much just treat it like, look at your head. You have your neck right here. Can you guys see the picture, the video of me? You have your neck right here, and treat this as the left shoulder, right? And the right shoulder. This is the resistance, right? If this makes any sense. And the fact that the resistance, or shall I say the support in this case, it held at $27. That means the neckline is holding, and there's hope that Palantir could rip out of this 28 level, go to $30, and complete the right shoulder at about $35-ish. That's where I think Palantir is going, and you can see it right here. It makes sense. The inverse head and shoulder, as of now, looks like it's panning out. And the second we break 27, go back and take out the lows from a couple days ago at 24, that means the inverse head and shoulder is not panning out, which wouldn't be so great for this theory. But let's say we gapped up tomorrow, that would be great for this theory, and we could be going $30 plus in that case. And overall, in the 4 hour, if you look back a bit, get a broader perspective, there's even more upside than $35 in this stock. I think we could be going high 30s, maybe even low 40s again. So Palantir, I like it a lot here. And another one here that I like is Majestic, or shall I say First Majestic Silver. This is a silver play, a mining play, and this went up 12% today. As silver went up, we talked about this earlier in the video, silver went up 3.5%, SLV did great, I bought more SLV, and I'm not just interested in, of course, physical silver, the gold, the physical gold, the gold ETF, silver ETFs, those are great. I'm also interested in these mining plays. AG is a mining play, and the way I view it is, it's kind of like a leveraged way to play gold and silver. These stocks, the mining stocks, they are no doubt way more speculative than owning the physical metal or owning an SLV or a GLD. They're way more speculative than that, and that means there's obviously more risk, but there's more reward, and that's kind of why I'm viewing it as a leveraged way to play the metals. And with AG, they reported earnings, I believe it was today or a couple of days ago. Either way, they reported earnings, adjusted EPS of 18 cents and sales of 117 million, and I'm not sure how that compares to last year or the estimates. It's not written here in Thinkorswim, but either way, the stock's going up. It's in an uptrend. You can see when Wall Street Bets kind of pushed up silver in the past couple of weeks, this got up to about $26. There was a lot of speculation around, these mining stocks. This went to 26. It cooled off to about 15, and now it's picking up steam again. And although you could argue it is a bit overbought, RSI is at 72. We hit a high at about 19, and it's not a high past the previous high, obviously, but it's kind of like a higher high in the uptrend where now it's overbought. We need to pull back a bit, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for. If we could pull back on AG, maybe test. Let's take a look here. Those highs from a couple days ago at about 18. Maybe if we can hold 1770 to 18 as a new support, that could be a nice dip buy on this momentum upwards, and who knows where it could go. Guys, no joke. If silver continues to rip up, if the precious metals market outperforms the stock market in general, these plays could do very well. The silver ETFs, of course, the gold ETFs, the mining plays, GDX is another one. That's a gold mining ETF. You have that did well today, up almost 5%. GDXJ is a gold junior miners ETF. This one up over 5%, almost 6% today. So these are pretty solid in my humble opinion as well. And we had Alibaba today go down over 3.5%. And what I'm seeing here is, remember that neckline I was talking about on NNDM, or actually no, it was Palantir. Remember that? Well, take a look here. You can clearly see it here. It's holding it at $253 per share, which is where the left shoulder ended up bottoming many times. Once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. So we held 250 on the left shoulder. Now it seems like the right shoulder is holding at 253, 255 as well. So I'm not thinking that all hope is gone with Alibaba. In fact, I think we could end up recovering above 255, maybe filling the gap to 270 in the short term. As you guys can see, that's kind of where the left shoulder was bouncing between, 255, 270. That's the range it was in. Now you're noticing the right shoulder. It's in that exact range as well. So we're at the bottom of the range at 255. Watch for a move to 270. If 270 breaks, that is where the right shoulder could fully complete up to about 295, 300. And I'm not convinced that's going to happen quite yet because the markets are pulling down. But if we get a bounce back that pushes large caps, hey, Alibaba could be going 270 plus, 280, 290. I think that is very possible. And Disney today, we saw a big move in Disney, up over 4%. And a lot was going on. I mean, we got some different headlines today. Disney opposes NFL's 100% TV rights payment hike. What else here? Roku is ready for the next level. That doesn't have to do with Disney much, although they are competition with Disney. This could be it. I mean, the Walt Disney Company is participating in the Morgan Stanley Technology, Media, and Telecommunications Conference. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what is moving Disney. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing anything. I very well could be. But overall, it's breaking out. It went up over 4%. We took out the 185 resistance. That was a resistance from back in the end of 2020. We broke out of that. We actually retook it. We closed above it. We broke the 50 SMA. This is looking very good for a continuation play, right, for the momentum to continue. And I think that we might be going 200 plus. This could be the move that takes us 200 plus. And sure, if the markets collapse in general, S&P collapses, maybe we don't go 200 plus. But if the markets recover, we see a nice little pop back, I can see Disney outperform and go 200 plus very easily. So I'm watching that here. And I got a question on Zoom, and we also cover this pre-market today in the Patreon morning update video. And I pretty much told you guys that Zoom is it's a bit oversold. It went down 5.5% today, and in the morning video is actually still trading in the 400s, and it looks like obviously we went lower from when I filmed that video, but what I said pretty much still stands. We can see the uptrend is still holding on Zoom, and don't pay attention to what happened a couple months ago. I mean, the uptrend in the past couple weeks is still holding. Take a look at what I'm drawing right now, right? We hit a low at about 335, higher low at 365, another higher low at 390. And if 395, 400 can hold at a higher low, which is a pretty big support, that would be another higher low. The uptrend could continue at that point, and maybe we rip up higher to the mid 400s, not mid 400s, 415s rather, 420, 430. 430 is a big sticking point, 435, 440 as well. So maybe that's where we could be going. Watch out. If 400 holds, that's where we could be going, and that is a big, big if. So I'm watching Zoom, and by the way, if it breaks 390, we could be going down to test maybe 375, 360, maybe even to test those lows, which I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I'm not seeing it go down there quite yet, but I'm just showing you guys what could possibly happen if we break this uptrend we've been in the past couple of weeks. So we have one more stock, then we'll wrap up the video. It is Plug Power, ticker symbol PLUG. This went down 13% today, and I forgot to mention it yesterday. This is another stock that is reporting earnings this week on the 25th of February, which is what? On Thursday. So watch out for Plug Power. It is down almost $30 from its high, down well over 20%. In fact, it's down almost 40%. So if you're looking for a dip buy, although it hasn't quite yet confirmed the reversal, in fact, it's looking like it wants to take out those lows from Thursday, or actually this was pre-market Friday. So we might not actually reverse quite yet based on the technicals. So that's a bit of a risk here. You have to understand that we very well could go lower. Either way, I think it is a pretty decent opportunity maybe to nibble some shares. And where could it go on the lower end? Probably about $38, $39, maybe $40, right around this resistance from the end of December. It might hold that as a new support. So be careful. I think there is some opportunity here, but understand we haven't quite yet confirmed the breakout. It's still in a sell-off phase. We still could go down lower. So keep that in the back of your head. So that's it. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to go down below, get yourself 2 stocks from WeBull. Those are valued up to $1,600. All you have to do is deposit $100 using my link, and we both get 2 free stocks. And you could also get $30 from M1 Finance by simply using my link, depositing any amount of money, and we each get $30. And don't forget to check out the Patreon as well if you want real-time buy and sell alerts, you want some call outs throughout the day, you want exclusive morning update videos, and a bunch more. That's on Patreon, and that's linked right down below. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, keep crushing the markets. Stay safe out there, guys. Peace out.